Hello and welcome to this quick and energizing vinyasa flow. I like to do this in the mornings. Give it a try. Let's begin on our knees in hero's pose with our toes tucked underneath. And then just come on upright. Let your spine settle naturally. Take a deep breath in, expanding your chest outward. And exhale your shoulder blades together and down your spine. Let's do that again. This time when you inhale, lift your arms up overhead and tilt your chin upward. And then exhale your palms together, heart center. Release your hands to your sides. Inhale, lift your right arm up overhead. Reach back between your shoulder blades. And then exhale your shoulder blades down, your spine and together. And you can take your left hand and place it on your right elbow, or if you would like a deeper stretch, you can reach behind your back for your right arm between your shoulder blades. Breathe deeply. And release. Place your palms on the mat in front of you and shake out your feet a little bit. Kick your feet like you're in a kiddie pool. And when you're ready, come back onto your tucked toes on your knees. And we'll do the same on the other side. A deep breath in, lift your left arm up and reach behind your shoulder blades. And then with your right hand, you can either grab your left elbow or reach behind your back towards your left hand. And when you breathe, focus on lifting your chest upward and lift your chin too. And release. Bring your hands to the mat in front of you and shake your feet out again. Now spread your knees as wide as the mat or wider if you'd like, and then sink your hips back over your heels. Walk your hands forward and place your forehead on the mat into this nice wide-legged child's pose. Take a couple deep breaths here, trying to meet your rib cage with your inner thighs on the inhale. Now lift your forehead and your hips and come into tabletop with your knees under your hips or a little bit wider and your hands under your shoulders. We're going to go through a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, lifting your chin and your tailbone, dropping your belly button to the mat. And then exhale, tucking your chin and tailbone underneath and reaching your shoulders up towards the sky. And move through this a few times at your own pace, taking a really long time to inhale and a really long time to exhale. And finding stillness in tabletop position, wag your tail a little bit, loosen up your spine and your hips. And now take a deep breath in and reach your left arm forward and your right foot straight back. And then exhale, bringing your shoulder blades together and down your spine. Another deep breath in, reaching your arm and foot a little higher. And exhale, your elbow knee together underneath your body. And then inhale, reaching out again, coming into a cow-like posture with your spine. And then exhaling into cat pose with your elbow and knee under your body. Move through this at your own pace, following your own breath. Taking a really long time to inhale and exhale. And release your hand and knee back to the mat. And now, deep breath in, reach your right foot straight back again, and then exhale it straight out to the right side. and plant the sole of your foot firmly on the ground. Now taking a deep breath in, move through cow pose, lifting your chin and tailbone towards the sky. And then exhale your chin and tailbone towards each other under your body and reach your shoulder blades up. Move through this cat-cow on your own at your own pace. And then walk your hands forward, bring your elbows down to the ground, and then drop your head to the mat and come into this modified puppy pose with your right leg straight out to the side. Lift your forehead and walk your hands back to underneath your shoulder blades. Bring your right knee back next to the left in tabletop position and then wag your tail a little bit. Now, a deep breath in, reach your right hand forward and your left leg straight back, and exhale your shoulder blades together and down your spine. Another deep breath in, reach your hand and foot up a little bit, and then exhale your knee and elbow together under your body. Inhale, reaching out, arching your back in a cow position, and then exhaling into cat pose. Elbow, knee underneath the body. Move at your own pace. And release your hand and knee down to the mat, back in tabletop, and wag your tail. Now inhale, lift your left foot straight back, and exhale it, taking it over to the left side in line with your hips, and plant the sole of your foot down on the ground. And now, moving through cat-cow, take a deep breath in, lift your chin and tailbone upward, and exhale, chin and tailbone under your body. Inhale to cow pose. Exhale to cat pose. Move through a few rounds of this at your own pace. And then walk your hands forward and drop your forearms to the mat. Bring your forehead to the mat and take a couple deep breaths here. Lift your forehead and walk your hands back to underneath your shoulder blades. Bring your left knee to next to your right in tabletop position and wag your tail, loosening your spine and hips up, getting your body ready for the vinyasa. Now tucking your toes, lift your knees and your hips up into downward facing dog, and pedal out your feet a little bit, wake up the backs of your legs. And come back to center, pushing through your heels towards the mat and lifting your tailbone up towards the sky. And then take a deep breath in and come up onto your tippy toes and push the shoulders, the backs of your shoulders, over your wrists like a big wave crashing on a beach. And then as you exhale, drop your hips towards the mat and lift your chin upward. And then lift your hips all the way back into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. We'll do that again. A deep breath in, coming up onto your tippy toes, arching your shoulders and coming over your wrists, crashing like a wave. And then drop your hips down and lift your chin up into upward facing dog. Then lift your hips back into downward facing dog and move through this motion at your own pace, breathing slowly as you do it. And the next time you're in downward facing dog, take a deep breath in and lift your right foot up towards the sky. And then exhale your knee towards your nose under your body. Inhale, shoot your leg straight back again. And exhale your knee towards your right elbow. And then inhale, lifting your foot straight back. And then exhale your knee to your left elbow. Inhale, lifting your foot back again, and then drop your right heel to your lower back and bend your right knee, opening your hips to the right side of your mat, and take a deep breath. And release your foot back to the mat in downward facing dog. Take a deep breath, pedal out your feet. And now we'll do the same on the other side. Take a deep breath in, lift your left leg straight up and back, and exhale your knee to your nose underneath your body. Inhale your leg back. Exhale your knee to your left elbow. Inhale, leg straight back. Exhale your knee to your right elbow. Inhale your leg back again, and then bend your knee and drop your heel towards your lower back. And push your hips open to the left side of your mat. And release your foot back down to the mat into downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet, take a deep breath. And then walk, step, or jump your feet to the front of the mat to come into forward fold. And just let your body hang, let gravity pull on your head and create space in your spine. You can bend your knees here and sway back and forth. And then slowly, one vertebra at a time, roll yourself up to standing, letting your chin hang heavy against your chest. When you get to the top, inhale your arms up overhead. And then grab your hands and exhale, reaching over to the right side. Push your hips to the left and turn your gaze towards the left. On your next inhale, reach your arms back up and exhale your arms to the left side, pushing your hips to the right. Open your chest forward and up, bringing your shoulder blades together behind you. And inhale back upright with your arms reached up overhead. And exhale your hands at heart center. Release your hands to the sides. Take a deep breath in, lifting your chest upward. Exhale, shoulder blades together and down your spine. And push your hips forward slightly and pull your shins a little bit away from each other. And feel engaged with your chest lifted, your shoulder blades pulled back, your hips pushed forward. And stand strong in this and take a couple deep breaths. On your next inhale, send your left foot straight back and we'll come into Warrior One or High Lunge. You'll have your right knee bent and directly over your right ankle, and your left foot is back with the heel up, facing upward. Point both of your hip joints to the front of your mat, and then take a deep breath in, lifting your arms up overhead, and exhale your shoulder blades together and down your spine. Take a deep breath here. And open up your body to the right side, twisting so that your chest is facing the right side of your mat, and drop your arms so they're parallel to the floor, palms facing the right side of your mat. Check on your hips, make sure they're both still facing forward, and then take a deep breath. And then drop your right hand to your left thigh and reach up with your left hand towards the sky, feeling a nice stretch on the left hip. And then release back to Warrior One, facing forward, reaching both hands upward. And now turn into Warrior Two, turning your body to the left side of the mat, dropping your left heel to the mat, and making your foot parallel to the back of the mat. Open your arms up so they're parallel to the ground. And take a deep breath in. Exhale your shoulder blades together and down your spine. Turning your gaze to look over your right fingertips. And lift your left heel, come back into Warrior One, facing your body forward. And slowly bring your hands down to the mat on either side of your foot, your right foot. Drop your left knee, and then tuck your chin towards your chest and feel this nice stretch in your left hip. Tuck your left toe, lift your left knee, and plant your left hand firmly on the ground, and then reach up towards the sky with your right hand, and turn your gaze to look at your right fingertips. Bring your hand back down to the ground, and then hop your left foot up to meet your right. Come into standing forward fold, and slowly, one vertebra at a time, roll yourself up to standing. And now step your right foot back, coming into Warrior One on the left side with your left leg bent and knee over your ankle, your right heel facing upward, both hip joints facing forward. Take a deep breath in, lift your arms up overhead. Exhale your shoulder blades together and down your spine. And then open your body up to the left, dropping your arms so that they're parallel to the ground, palms facing to the left. Take a deep breath. Drop your left palm to your right thigh and reach your right arm up towards the sky and feel a nice deep stretch in your right hip. Come back to Warrior One, reaching both arms up overhead, body facing forward. And then turn into Warrior Two, opening your hips to the right side of the mat and dropping your right foot down to the ground, parallel to the back of your mat. Open your arms up so that they're parallel to the ground. Turn your gaze to look over your left fingertips and take a deep breath. And inhale, reaching both arms up overhead, coming back into Warrior One and turning your body forward. And then exhale, bringing your hands down to the mat on either side of your left foot. Drop your right knee, untuck your right toes, and then tuck your chin towards your chest and feel a nice stretch here. And then tuck your right toes, lift your right knee off the ground, and with your right hand firmly planted on the ground, reach your left arm up overhead, turning your gaze to look at your left fingertips. And release your hand down to the ground, and then send your left foot back to meet your right and drop both knees down to the ground. Spread your knees as wide as the yoga mat Sink your hips back and come into child's pose. Lift your forehead off the mat and walk your hands to underneath your body, lifting your body up. And then come onto your seat with your feet in front of you. Backs of the knees pressing into the mat. Take a deep breath in, reaching both arms up overhead. And then exhale, forward fold, reaching for your toes or ankles, wherever you can. And letting your body come close to your thighs. Letting gravity pull on your head. And slowly, one vertebra at a time, roll yourself upright. And then bend your knees and come onto your back with your soles of your feet planted firmly in the ground, just behind your hips, and your knees facing upward. Now take your right leg and cross it over your left, and then drop both knees to the left side towards the ground. Reach both of your arms out to the sides and turn your gaze to look at your right fingertips. And bring your knees back upright, and then hug both of your knees with your right leg still crossed over your left. Hug both of your knees into your chest. And if this is too much for you, you can do figure 4 instead with your right ankle on your left knee and bring that into your chest. But find your stretch here and then take a deep breath. And release both of your feet to the mat. Uncross your legs. And then take your left leg and cross it over your right. Drop your knees over to the right side to the ground. Spread both of your arms out into a T shape and turn your gaze to look over your left fingertips. And take a nice deep breath. Bring both of your knees upright. And then hug your knees with your legs still crossed into your chest. And if this is too tight, you can do a figure 4. And take a deep breath here. And release both of your feet down to the mat, uncrossing your legs. And then you can drop your knees to the sides, bringing the soles of your feet together in the butterfly shape while still on your back. And let your hands fall to the sides, palms facing up. Take a few deep breaths here. And then bring your knees together and walk your feet out and come into Shavasana. Take a few deep breaths. And you can stay here for as long as you like. Thank you so much for joining me. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe.